Hi, I'm Kim Robel, and I'm running for 7th Ward City Council.
What motivated you to run for city council?
One of the reasons I chose to run for City Council is because I've always been involved with our community. I've been a teacher here. It's my 9th year being involved in our educational system. I've seen the bashing we've taken. I've been a homeowner here for 22 years, 17 in the 7th Ward. And when the articles started coming out from LA regarding how terrible we were, it made me realize that the world stage is portraying us as the second Detroit, and I wasn't okay with that. And so I decided, instead of complaining about it, to try and be the change, And one of my favorite sayings is, if you're not part of the solution, that means you're part of the problem. So I had to step up myself and stop being a hypocrite about it.
How long have you lived in San Bernardino?
I've been in the 7th Ward since I started teaching my 16th year as a homeowner.
What are your qualifications for this position?
In my opinion, my qualifications are: I'm intelligent, I'm direct, I'm honest, I have integrity. I like to look at the whole picture, not just little individual pictures, because this is a city and a community, and there is no one single anything, so we have to look at it globally, if you will. I think that my experience in our educational system here has helped me immensely understand our population and work with our population, and to really immerse me in the needs of the kids of our city, for sure. I also have served in the military, so I've had the opportunity to work with incredibly diverse populations under real stress, and you have to learn to work together to succeed. You can't just fight everybody and think you're going to be on top and make the rules. That's not how a city operates. I think that's a huge part of being a leader.
Who are your main campaign contributors?
My main campaign contributors, I'm my main campaign contributor. I said from the get-go, I'm a grassroots movement. I have contributed about $400 of my own money so far. I believe I've had several people who have contributed between $99 and $250, but they're local residents. I don't know that I've had any campaign contributions yet from any businesses, but I haven't really solicited them. I did get the endorsement for AFL-CIO, and I'm super proud of that. And so hopefully at some point maybe they'll make a contribution. But that.
What kind of jobs do you feel are going to catalyze economic growth and increase business development?
This is a toughie because we've watched these cities grow up around us, and clearly they're doing something right. Part of what they're doing right is they're offering communities to their residents that are safe and invite more people in, invite people like us to go shop there because we feel safe. We know we can sit at Citrus Plaza at Starbucks and have a latte and not worry about somebody coming over to ask us for money or steal your phone. And I think offering those kind of opportunities for businesses to come in because they know they're going to have customers that aren't afraid to be there, they have a leg up on us right now.
Do you have any specific plans regarding the creation of jobs for the city of San Bernardino?
I think the policies that the city has been passing in the past that have kind of created a really unfriendly climate for business and a really friendly climate for people who really don't have resources, being, again, buses and trains that drop off people being released from prison. We've become kind of a homeless mecca. The fact that we're doing policies that actually invite that population as opposed to business owners is really counterproductive to our growth as a city, and we need to look at those very carefully and decide where we're going to invest our time and our money and what programs we're willing to let go of as far as getting funded by the federal or the state government if it's not actually benefiting our community and it rather is just bringing money in for something. We've got to address that because right now we're not a business-friendly place.
Other than the community engagement plan, how do you plan to increase our partnership with the SBCUSD and local colleges and universities in order to improve access to education opportunities?
Planning and putting together a sustainable plan is really what we need. And so the footwork and the groundwork is already being done for creating these systems. We're not there yet. We're looking at 2017 as being full implementation. I sincerely hope that happens. With that, we've already got partnerships with the colleges, such as, what do they call it, the San Bernardino Promise, where if you do this and you do this and you do this, even though you're not the valedictorian, you can go straight to a four-year college, or you can go straight into Valley. And I love the Valley Bound program, by the way. That's one of the most awesome. with that, again, takes meaningful and intentional choices in what are the career pathways going to be in the high school. And I think we're still struggling with that a little bit because we're kind of trying to make an old model fit the new expectation. And rather than doing that, we really need to be courageous enough to say, okay, the old model doesn't fit anymore, so let's look to the future.
Which other partnerships do you believe your ward/community would benefit from?
You know, at Arroyo Valley High School, they have the Core Academy, which deals in organic and recycling and energy. I think it's so important that they're doing already solar installs for their students. And that to me is so forward thinking and so appropriate for where we need to go, because they're actually equipping kids with these skills to actually go straight into a business or create their own business or be part of a business. And that's what we need. That's what we need. Kids that are empowered to be able to think forward and dream, create their own businesses, create their own dreams, find employment here in the city that is going to make them want to stay and give back to the city and be part of a really functional future.
The success of San Bernardino's downtown area is essential for the success of all areas of San Bernardino. Therefore, what is your vision for re-energizing the downtown area?
With the revitalization, I think we have to look very carefully at what's worked in other cities, how they've done it, and then we need to make sure that we look at what's valuable in our city to our constituents, as well as what's important to people that are passing by. So for instance, San Bernardino is the perfect hub. It's the perfect hub for people going to Palm Springs, Las Vegas, the mountains, the desert, out to the beach from the other side, out to LA from Palm Springs. We're in a perfect position to be the last stop or the best stop for people to stop, to hang out, get something to eat, get what they need before they hit their destination. I would love to see something built between the stadium, the 66ers stadium, and maybe up to the theater. I'd love to see that whole area become some kind of a shopping and entertainment complex. And when I say entertainment, I don't just mean like video games, I mean like sports. Because if you think about where we're located, we got motorcycles, we got mountain biking, we've got skiing, we've got water skiing, we've got water sports, we've got all these things. Again, what if we became the place where people who love the outdoors make sure they stop to shop? People who love to eat organic food want to stop and eat while they go do that shopping. Want to go to, ooh, look at these restaurants that are here that I can't get on hospitality. It's not Red Lobster. Maybe it's something that, again, speaks to a different kind of clientele to get them here and say, yeah, man, you got to stop in San Bernardino on your way because you'll find this and this and this, and you can't get it in Redlands and you can't get it in Victoria Gardens. That's what I'd love to see, someplace that has a reason for people to want to go and hang out and stay and spend their money. Because the fact of the matter is, we're looking for that disposable income. We need that money because that's where the revenue for the city comes from, other than on the backs of the taxpayers like us.
Since San Bernardino is well known for having a high crime rate, what do you think you can do to ensure the safety of your constituents?
I personally can't do anything to ensure it. I'm part of a web. I'm part of the village, if you will. But what I can do is I can tell you directly, I totally support restaffing our police force to its fullest. I think we've undermined them, which has undermined our public safety, and then we sit around and complain about long wait times for calls. Well, if you're going to make it so that police leave our city police department to go to other agencies because of a lack of security here, meaning they don't know if they're going to have a job or they don't know what the contract's going to be or you get paid so much better elsewhere or whatever the reason, then yeah, you're going to have a short police force, and with a short police force, what do you get? Increased crime.
What natural resources or systems do you think we need to protect locally, and what type of actions would you take to ensure their protection?
Locally, first and foremost, one of our most precious assets is the natural environment around us, like our trees, our mountains. We have such a beautiful city. It's beautiful. I mean, literally, I go out on my campus and I turn and I look at the mountains and I think about how lucky I am because this is my backyard, you know? We have to value that and we have to take care of it. And as we undermine our environment, we're undermining us.
With the city's existing restrictions, how can you reform policy to allow for more art throughout the city?
You know, the arts are very important to me. I've been involved in the arts I've studied the arts, and so I'm really happy to see the investment back in the arts, because they kind of got stripped out when we went to, oh, budget crisis, let's take away all the arts and focus on reading, writing, math, and science and history and nothing else. I'm so happy to see the renewed emphasis on the arts. I know that there are some community members who are really annoyed by the murals going up in, like, around Succumby Lake and like that. To me, it's so much preferable than the graffiti, than the blight. I would much rather see urban art. And our youth here in the city, they understand urban art. You know, I think it has such an opportunity to be something positive and productive for this city if we approach it right and we handle the money right and we do permits and we have people apply for the opportunity and all that good stuff. The minute we end up with a section of our community talking about, oh, that's just, you know, they're just graffitiing and they're allowed to. That's not what it is. You have to have urban art. And again, art is subjective. Not everybody sees it that same way, but I think it's so important, and I think we really need to figure out an area in the city that could be developed as our arts district. Right now it's 5th Street, I get that, but again, it's really floundering, and we need to put that together, because having an arts center in our community is so important to the culture of the community.
Do you agree with the city's ban on marijuana dispensaries? If you disagree with the ban, what steps would you take as an elected official to reform current marijuana policies?
I am one person in a web of people who want to be part of a proactive city. I believe that the writing's on the wall as far as marijuana goes. As the country continues to do research on it, I think that eventually we're going to get to a time where we have to decide on legalization, not just of medical marijuana, of recreational. I think we're foolish to act like somehow if we keep criminalizing it, it's not going to be a problem. Criminalizing it, I think, has actually made it a bigger problem, because again, then it becomes part of the illegal element, and so you have that underground force that's working that undermines your communities badly. So I really think we need to be more thoughtful about the decisions in regards to marijuana and figure out better ways to allow our medical users to access it without going to these underground places.
How can you personally ensure that your constituents are informed and involved in what is going on in their neighborhood?
One of the hard things about our city, it's so big, and our constituency in 7th Ward is so diverse. It's really hard to communicate, because there are people who are there that are very active in politics that aren't involved in social media, and so they have really no connection to the young element in our ward, and then the young part of our ward that are all plugged in, but they're not connected at all to the older element in our ward that still goes to the neighborhood association meetings and things like that for their news, but doesn't really stay involved with the instant communication happening. I think, for me, community is so important, and I think as we move forward to making it a more inclusive community, making more opportunities for people to come out and be together, that we're going to find more connections, and we're going to find more reasons to talk and stay together, and more modes of communication that are open to us.